Hi, everybody. We're
Hi
here
there.
to talk. Hi, yeah. We're here to talk with Wilbert, and Wilbert is the Aikido teacher. Actually, he holds the 6th Dan in Aikido. He's been training in Japan, and he's been teaching the classical branch of Aikido, which is about a lot about spiritual background, has a lot of spiritual background in it. So today we will talk about Sugiyo, Aikido, and real life, and how to bring Aikido in your daily life. And maybe, Wilbert, you want to introduce yourself a bit more?
Well, I guess you were quite complete. I've been training since the 80s and lived in Japan. I was so lucky to meet a student of the founder, who was the founder is a 20th century guy. So he lived with him in his dojo for a long time. And after the Second World War, he kept on learning and studying with him. So they had the same spiritual and religious background. So he kind of got what this Aikido founder was saying, and I was lucky to meet him. And my teacher, who was also a student of Shirata Sensei, he was a professor, American, as a professor in Sendai at the Buddhist University, a professor of Buddhist studies. So he kind of got it too. So I was so lucky to have a nice lineage and have people teach me who knew about not only the physical stuff, but also the spiritual stuff. So I was very lucky. And yeah, it's nice to still be able to train and learn, and to be able to apply things in daily life. So
thank you. Thank you so much for giving us the time. And one thing we like to start all the interviews is because there are people from different areas of Budo watching this, is a little bit if your definition of Aikido and the goal of Aikido.
Yeah, well, if you want to explain what Aikido is, actually the best explanation is Aikido is a state of mind. And that's kind of complex to get if you don't know anything else about it. But the founder was a very spiritual man from Japanese traditional religions, and also not only one, but he explored, and he found his way through life implementing religion into his extensive martial arts studies. So he developed Aikido from Daito Ryu Jiu-Jitsu, from all kinds of different Kobudo, old weapon schools. So he integrated all that into a martial art, but also put these spiritual principles in it. And as I said before, I was lucky that my teacher was still there and had spent 39 years of his life with the founder. So he was able to kind of explain those principles. So it's a martial art plus, like with many advantages with principles to bring into your daily life.
Beautiful. And I love that, because you were saying, we were talking like, we need to know the destination. A lot of time we join Aikido or Iai to go and fight and learn how to take, to take your enemy down and all of that. And it's a completely different destination, right? So did you know the destination when you started? Do you point it to your student? How is that concept for you? How do you apply it?
Well, when I started Aikido, I had been practicing judo for a very long time, for more than 10 years. And I read a lot about Aikido, and I saw it had a personal development part in it. And there was a spiritual part that was part of the deal. So I was very curious when I started, because yeah, that had my interest. And but still, when I was on the mat, we throw each other down 4 times, and then it's the other person's turn, and they throw us down. No competition, and you get skillful at what you do, of course, because of the repetitions. And then where is the spirituality? So that was my big question, and I kind of found out when I went to Japan. And I work as a doctor, as well as in emergency medicine, as family medicine, with from people who have a crack in their toenail to people who are dying, and helping them at home to have a peaceful ending of their life, last part of their life. I was thinking about these questions, and I was thinking, what's life about? How do you grow, and what is Aikido doing in this respect? So, yeah, there's so much that people want to improve in their life, and Aikido can be of help. And if you know what you want, then you can work on it.
Yeah, and I love, because when I hear about the medicine and all that, facing those people who may be dying, I understand also why part of your mission is integrating Budo and life with Budo. So I can see the inspiration behind. Do you want to talk a little bit about that concept of Sugiyo and what you're working on right now?
Yeah, well, what I'm working on right now is to put on paper, or actually digitally, what are those principles in martial arts and in Aikido, specifically Aikido. What are those principles, and how do you actually take them home, right? How do you throw people down 4 times and they throw you down 4 times and then go home? And what happens when you are at home? And how do you do that actually? And how do you take your enlightenment when things start to happen without effort in your martial art practice? How do you take that to your daily life? It's not okay to be able to make the perfect cut and then come home and kick the dog and hit your wife, right? So where are the areas of improvement? Where do you bring those principles into your daily life? And one of the tools to accelerate the things that you learn in your martial art into your daily life is Sugiyo. Sugiyo actually is ascetic practice. So you learn, but the combination of the characters of the word actually means the combination of ascetic practice and journey. So the Japanese character of Gyo is moving. So you go somewhere in space and in time. So you're on your way, right? And it's continuous. That combined with ascetic practice says that Sugiyo is an ascetic journey. How do I grow personally, and what can I do for an intensive period of time to start to improve? And that's what I'm working about on currently. So it's really interesting to learn more and more about that.
Exactly. That's the kanji of Gyo is just behind you, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's what you said to us before. So everybody can see, can look at it and see. It's also very interesting to see, like visually and graphically. And I read somewhere, we put it down, that those things that look like brush. So it's also about polishing, like you say. It's a journey, and it's about polishing yourself. But where are you? What is the direction you're polishing yourself? What is it for you?
Well, actually, it can be anything, right? And I want to say a little bit more about the calligraphy behind me. It's of one of the marathon monks. It's Sakai. It's maybe the most special one, because he did the 7-year Sugiyo with 1,000 days of walking, with the last days doing 80 kilometers a day. And that was his way to become enlightened. And that's a huge inspiration. And he didn't write Sugiyo, he wrote Gyo. Yeah. I mean, I see that as just do it, right? It's go, and keep on going. That's exactly what the character means. So it's a great inspiration to have something from this man hanging here. But at the same time, if we are just living daily life, it's too big a mission to go on a 7-year Sugiyo and walk 100 days in a row, and then the next year again 100, and next year. That's too much for us, right? And if you are going on in your daily life, it's actually best to make small steps and make small changes. So look at small things that you can improve. So, but for me now at this moment, my Sugiyo is working on this stuff to make it available for people to learn. And it's hard to find the time, but there is no time. It's only how you spend it. So that's my Sugiyo at the moment, to sit down and get in the flow of the Sugiyo Sha, right? It's the person who is doing a Sugiyo. Get in the flow, get in the state of a person who is doing Sugiyo, and then do it. And in that way, accomplishing something.
I love what you say, because I think a lot of time we see martial arts, in our case also Reiki, and then daily life as separate things, right? And Sugiyo maybe only applies to one, and daily life is the time we waste to make money to pay for those times. But what you're saying is like your whole life is Sugiyo, right? Like you really want to live this life fully, and it's a cycle that can feed each other.
Yeah. And of course, what happens in our daily life is that we kind of fall asleep, right? And miss.
Yes.
And now, and then, you know, life Netflixes away, right? And if that's what you want, it's fine. But if you want to learn, if you want to grow, if you want to contribute, then you have to do something. It's not if you do stuff in the dojo, kind of a safe haven where you can learn, you can train, you can practice, you can make mistakes. It's safe, right? You can forgive yourself. That's what you learn there. If you make mistakes, it's okay. But then if you get into daily life, you know, somebody cuts you off in traffic, and your boss is nasty, and your kids don't listen and get into puberty, and and then it's nice to know how to bring that into your daily life and bring it back into the dojo, because, you know, it's a cycle. It's not this and that. I think and I think yours too, your identity is the martial artist, and the artist, the life artist, which is also a martial artist, right? So it's one, I think.
Beautiful. I think it's also beautiful. Like you say, okay, we're practicing whatever we're practicing. It's Aikido, Reiki, karate, whatever Budo it is, or whatever other art it is, or a technique or method, and then we bring it to life. But then in Buddhism, for example, they also say one of the biggest enemies is forgetfulness. So we forget how to bring it to daily life. So my question to you is how do you not forget? How do you not forget to bring it into daily life?
Yeah, I think those guys in Kyoto, right, on Mount Hiei, who go around the mountain every day and do this kind of stuff, for them, it's actually easy not to forget.
Exactly.
Right? So those Buddhist guys, I envy them because they don't have anything else to do. But I think if you choose something in your life that you say, okay, I'm going to apply my martial art on this. If it's your relationship with your boss, or with your spouse, or with your kids, or maybe it's getting your house better in order, or whatever you choose, if you make it into a Sugiyo and you take your experiences from the dojo, where most of us, you know, have times of intensive training, where we intensified, where we only focused on one thing, where we did a 7-day retreat and we only did this or we only did that, that state of mind, actually that state of heart, maybe better said, the Japanese kokoro expression, heart, that is the state. If we practice that, and we have practiced that, and actually the fact that we are still doing our martial art and going to the dojo every time is a subconscious Sugiyo in itself. If you make that conscious and bring that feeling, that state of being into your daily life, and set a goal and think about the process that you are going to use to improve that certain small part of your life and define the small steps, it helps you become more conscious. And your training has helped you to become more focused. And if you know what you're going to use it for, you're probably going to be more focused. So if you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to do this for 7 days, I'm going to do this for 21 days, and I'm going to focus on that, and day by day, keeping a diary, going to improve this, as if I am doing a 7-day retreat of my martial art. And every time in your regular training, in the meantime, while you're going back in the evenings or the weekends, you're going with this state of mind too. So you reinforce the Sugiyo that you're doing. then you are keeping it in front of your, at the top of your mind, right? You stay conscious.
No, I think what you said is amazing. Is pick one thing, stay focused, keep it simple, and keep going, right? And I think sometimes we want to like change our whole life and then the last 2 days. So I love like how you were able to put it like that's the way you do it and translate it. And how do you bring life back to the dojo? So that, because for me it's clear dojo to life. Sometimes life to dojo is less clear for me.
Okay, what do you do on your way to the dojo?
Oh, basically subway, trying not to have too many crazies like scream on me.
Yeah, okay, but your brain is continuing to think things, right? And the nice thing about our brain is that if we, you can say, stop thinking, right? Because it gets louder and louder. But there's one thing you can do to think whatever you want. We have 100% control over what we think. And that is ask yourself a question. And don't ask a negative question, because if I say, please don't think about blue, what are we all thinking about at this moment, right?
I'm already thinking blue. Yes.
Yes, don't think about 2 + 2. We all think about 4. But if we ask ourselves questions about our current Sugiyo, our mind will go there. And this way you prepare yourself going to the dojo. You could look at the billboards thinking, okay, I don't want that, I want that, and or this, oh, I have this too and it's broken. You let your mind chatter but you can use this time as well, right? You can think about, okay, what is my focus at the moment? And you can bring this back to the dojo. And what you need to keep going on your Sugiyo is this internal state. You have to enforce that. So if that is the focus of going to the dojo again, then you are, that's gonna become stronger.
I love that. And I love how simple it is for most of us. And you go ahead.
Absolutely, yeah. And then do you teach that to your students who come to the dojo? Do you tell them about it in your class?
Well, we don't have a lot of students. So usually there's 6, 8 people on the mat, and they are from different levels. And the training has, the beginners have to learn the steps, right? That is the Renshu part, the Keiko, the training, and then they have to repeat because they have to learn the steps. And then at the same time, I tell them, for example, in Aikido, there's all the techniques have meaning. So there's no technique that is just, if he does this, I do that, and I throw him on the floor. Every technique has, for example, if somebody punches at you and you do the Aikido technique Kotegaishi, which originates from Jiu-Jitsu and other martial arts, you have to open and turn. So even opening, when your partner is hitting you and you turn the other way, keep the hand with you and move, even the opening and facing the same direction as your partner, realizing that your partner had some viewpoint that he attacked you. Why is that, right? That produces empathy. What does this guy or girl want with me? Why is he hitting me, right? So you're facing the same direction. And if you realize that you blend in this way, not only with the hand and the energy that the person is giving you, but also you empathize. So yes, I do explain that. And when time is there, when people do a Sugiyo, when we do an Aikido Sugiyo, when we are there for an intensive training, we talk about that and explain to people, hey, this doesn't end Sunday evening. You can take this home and implement.
Yes.
So the answer is yes.
Beautiful. Yeah. Which is beautiful. Yeah, you just explained it. I think from what I hear is you say, yeah, I'm teaching my students not to just do technique, fall and get up, but I teach them to be compassionate.
Yeah,
but also their muscles hurt when they
yes, but that's a bonus.
That happens. So because you're creating a class about this, right? Some, like, as you said, some digital videos and classes. Can you talk a little bit about what you're preparing?
It's going to be a course about, it's going to be a course about Aikido. First, explaining about the concept of dojo. So the dojo as a safe haven, as a way, as a place to practice, something like heaven on earth, leave everything behind. What we all experience, but we only experience it when we know it, right? If we just go there, get changed and throw each other, it's different than, you consciously leave behind all your worries and all your thoughts and, your shopping list and your whatever, and your work problems. If you consciously do that, so that's the first part. The second subject is how to take things from the dojo to daily life, how to change. What is the psychology of change? What is the physiology of change in your body? What's the social things about change that hinder change? So that's a subject. And after that, I will go into the 9 pillars of Aikido, which are the different techniques. So all Aikido techniques are in one of those 9 pillars, including the jo, the wooden staff, and the bokken. We train also with. It also has a very rich spiritual background. So all these pillars, I'll talk about that, and then talk about implementation in daily life. That's the main course, and the introductory course is much smaller. That's the Sugiyo course that I'm writing now, and that's about the things that I'm talking about now.
Amazing. I think I'm gonna join one Aikido class to be able to understand your class and sign up for it.
Yeah.
Question, if for example I do Iai, could I get something out of the course about the Sugiyo even though I may not practice Aikido? Could I, because what you're talking to me makes sense in Iai as well. So do you think?
Of course. You do martial arts not for learning, what's the chance that you meet a samurai, with a sword, and you have 1, 2, and or a ninja, and he's attacking you, and you're going to cut him in half, right? Shake off the blood, and put it back, right? What's the chance? That's not the reason why you're doing it.
Yeah.
So, for example, name one of the principles that is very important in swordsmanship, like metsuke or something like that. That I could write a course about that. Right, and you could too, if you understand that if you listen to your teachers, what they explain about that, it only needs your brain to think about what that means. How do you look at people, right?
Yeah.
Do you with which filters, which eyes do you look at somebody, right? How can you look into somebody's soul? If you can take that to daily life and make that a focus. All martial arts are completely filled up with all kinds of principles like that. And it's just up to us to wake up to the knowledge that exists and that's there, and take it to our daily lives and work on it. If that's something, if somebody has a problem with assuming stuff and having judge is very judgmental, for example, right? If that's a problem that you have, take this principle to your daily life and go for it. So you don't need me for that.
Yeah, no. I love what you say. And also Nesuke, I had never seen it that way. I do other things, but it's so that also people perhaps from the Sugiyo class can sign up, even though if they are doing karate or anything else, it will be great then. Because what you're teaching them is how to see martial arts differently. It's not just Aikido. Yes. So I think that is great.
Yeah, how to see it as it is, as it has always been, right?
Yes, but most of us, we go to a dojo and swords, and we go and we're very happy. And then as we advance, we're like, okay, there is something more to this, right? So it's great for me, seeing it from the beginning like this. You can just, first of all, you're going to probably last longer. You're not going to drop after 4 months that the fever from cutting went away. And you're also going to get more from the beginning, and avoid a bunch of frustrations. So I think it's great, as you said at the beginning, know your destination from the beginning. You may not understand the depth of it, but you're going to be more open. And as you say, Nesuke, right? So Nesuke, you're going to understand Nesuke from the beginning a lot better than it takes you 2 to 3 years to remember to wait the 3 seconds before the guy falls dead, right? Which is the instruction we normally have.
Actually, I was talking about Metsuke with an M.
Oh, okay.
So
I was thinking, I was thinking
the from the eyes, but and any principle, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. So it's there. And if people are aware that it's there and that it can help you set goals, then people set goals.
I love
Yeah.
it.
So as far as I'm concerned, I'm still working on the big course about Aikido, but I'm so curious about if people are aware of applying their martial art in daily life, that I have sent a couple of people a questionnaire. So, yeah, I would love to send this questionnaire to the people who are listening and are interested, and then as a gift, I'll send them, everybody of you, the Sugiyo course when it's finished.
I think wonderful. Yeah.
Incredible. Yes. I have a question here.
Sure.
Yes. Can the concept of Sugiyo be made known to young children, grade schoolers, or enhance it since they're still young and innocent, which is closer to their true nature?
Yeah, I think so. If you don't complicate it.
If you don't,
it's easy.
Yeah,
you can set a goal of brushing your teeth twice a day instead of once a day, or not doing it when mommy is not watching. You can make it into a 7-day Sugiyo. Or whatever you want to do with kids, or however they want to grow or you want to grow. And now I'm mentioning a small subject. There's big problems like kids who can't sleep, or the chaos when in ADHD, or the loss of a parent or somebody else, right? There's things that you just think about. Okay, I'm going to take a more extensive period. I'm going to take a smaller goal. We're going to take small steps, and it would be fun to tell them a story about this samurai who went to all the different places to learn to become better at his hobby, right? And I think, yeah, you could make a nice story about that, and tell them about knights, or tell them about something that inspires them, that inspires them, and say, hey, they went somewhere, like the fairy tales, right? The fairy tales often have Sugiyo in it, right? They have a hero story where the hero goes through all kinds of difficulties with a certain goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cinderella or whoever, right?
Yeah.
And you can help kids with that too, I think.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think also in the end we have to understand what we're doing with the technique, and with the technique we are practicing. In my opinion, we're practicing this awareness and focus and being present, being aware, and that helps us put down our worries, put down our fears, put down our everything that distracts us from this moment, from being alive, from being compassionate, from being warm and kind to other people. And this is also why not? Yeah, why not? You have children, I have children, and this is what I never call it Sugiyo, but
no, me neither, but working with with puberty,
yes,
that's doing ukemi, like break falls many times and getting back up and getting your focus back.
Yes,
right?
Yes, and ukemi is what is ukemi for those who don't know it?
You fall down.
Yes.
Right? If somebody throws you, you fall down, and then you get back up.
Yes.
So it's it works, and we shouldn't go around being too neurotic with being a warrior in daily life and stuff, because people will be tired when they from us, right? From if we do that the whole time. Yeah. But where it's appropriate, why not?
Why not?
And I also feel like it's not so much the warrior part, more like being present and aware, as like we have a concept of warrior that is very like we're spending a lot of energy to do things, but I think also in the dojo you learn to be more efficient, right, as you advance. So I think also translating how to be more efficient in your life by being more present and thoughtful, I think is also something that is very interesting.
Yeah,
being efficient is also not being distracted. So yeah,
that's right. If you it's keeping you from being distracted.
Yeah.
Right? The more commitment, the less distraction.
The more focus, yes. Yeah.
The more focus. Yeah,
Plus,
that's right.
Like this metaphor when the sun is always shining, but if you put the loop under the sun ray, then, and if you hold it at a certain distance from the grass and with a certain, you know, you hold it still for a certain period of time, then it will set it on fire. Not before. Yeah,
that's right. And all the martial arts already have it in them, right? It's already a Sugiyo to go to your dojo
yes,
a couple of times a week and be focused and be aware and stuff. Even if you don't think about all these concepts, you change because of this, and things change in your daily life. Starting in Aikido, we have these body movements, these tai sabaki, you know, beginning in the first couple of weeks, you turn around everybody and you move your center the whole day and stuff, but it's already there. But if you put your attention to it, to put it to use as a tool, then it becomes even more useful.
yes, keeping
And
us-
obvious and on the surface. Yeah.
Perfect.
Any more
So-
questions?
No, I
No.
think we're actually reaching the time. Is there something we didn't touch base on that you feel is relevant that we may not have asked you?
Not really.
Okay, I think the only last thing I will ask is, do you have any idea of the timing for the class? Like, we're sending the questionnaire for the Sugiyo, so that, like, if you have a little bit of timing, so people who are interested have an idea when they're going to be able to access some of these training.
Yeah, if you fill out the form and put your email address down, and you can on the questionnaire, people can write that that they saw this Facebook Live. Then we know who it is, who is who, and then we can, as soon as it's there, and I guess in about 2-3 weeks, the Sugiyo course will be ready, so they can expect to get access.
Perfect. That's amazing. I can't wait. I'm signing the questionnaire as soon as we finish. So,
I've done it already,
good.
so
That's good. Good.
Anya, anything that you would like to add to close? I'm just like so grateful for Wilbert to share all of this and so clearly. I really, really appreciate.
me too.
You're
me
welcome.
too.
You're welcome.
I'm really happy to have had this chat, because it's, you know, it's very inspirational again to see all the similarities in martial arts, in Reiki practice, meditation practice, other Budo practices. It's beautiful knowing, especially for me, what is really important. What you're saying is like knowing where you're going, knowing your destination, and then practicing in the dojo, bringing it to life, and then bringing it back again. And this is how we go. This is a circle. This is a circular movement, which will probably never end. And then the final test is when we die, and then we'll see if we've done a good job or not. So yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, beautiful.
Big goals and focus on the process,
And
because
once-
otherwise you get distracted if the goals are too big. Yeah, it's great.
Yes, I see all the people saying thank you, it was great. They really appreciate that, and you've been watching. So it's great.
Okay.
We'll be waiting for the links, and we will put them all under this video in the group, where people can access the questionnaire. And yeah, maybe yeah.
Thank you for inviting me. It was a big honor to speak in front of your followers.
Thank you so much. And
you.
for both of you, have a great Sunday, everybody watching as well. And now I want to go to Holland and meet you all in person.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And take the Aikido class, which you have already promised for a long time.
I'll take the first one and just don't laugh when you say left and I go right.
But we'll let you roll.
We will try not to laugh.
Perfect. Actually laugh. Thank you
And
so much.
bring your swords. Bring your sword to borrow, so I can borrow that, so you can laugh about me too.
Yeah, well, Sophie is very kind. My sword has a name. Her name is Sophie, and she's really lovely. So you probably would love her as well.
Nice.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you all so much. And yeah, beautiful. If there are still questions, I ask people to still put down questions if you have anything. Wilbert is a member of our group, so you will probably see all the questions of whatever reactions there will be. So you are probably are ready to answer the questions, right?
Sure, I'm a follower too.
Yeah, you're a follower too. That's we all are followers, and right?
Yes, we're all leaders and followers. That's good.
We need each other.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you,
Bye.
Wilbert, and thank you everybody
Bye-bye.
for
Thank you.
watching. Bye bye.